So again, I just want to welcome everybody to tonight's webinar. I'm super excited about tonight. I'm super excited about what we are doing here with our social app income program and talking to you about how to cash in on this amazing mobile app billion-dollar industry in the ways that you go about doing that. So just a quick introduction of myself and Angela, if you don't know us. Angela and I have been in the internet online marketing world for the past, combined together 25 years. We've been in internet marketing. Social media marketing for combined again together for about 15 years. So it's really an area of expertise for us. The mobile app world for me kind of came into focus maybe about a year or so ago. I really started to take a look at it, really started to track it, and realized very, very quickly that it was an up-and-coming and growing, without question, at a phenomenal pace industry. So I did quite a bit of research. I did quite a bit of, due diligence before I made a decision and pulled Angela in and said, hey, we really need to take a look at this. We need to create a program. We need to actually even do more than just create a program and a training around this. We need to be getting into the mobile app business because this is just exploding and the timing is perfect. So I want to start out tonight, and I hate to start things out this way, but I'm going to start out with a little bit of bad news because I think it's important that we all take a look at the reality of home-based business. Almost everybody, I'm sure, that is watching this has been in a home-based business at one time or another. You may be in a home-based business now. And the reality of home-based business is quite shocking, actually. Only 3% of all network marketers ever make any money. Only 3%. I've been one of those 3%ers. Angela's been one of those 3%ers. I've also been a 97%er. But let me tell you something. The odds are stacked against you. There's no question about it. And all of us go into these businesses with the best of intentions, but this is the reality. 98% of all internet marketers ever fail to generate any kind of significant income. Okay? That's another reality in the home-based business world. So the reality is, in these two business models, the odds are absolutely stacked against us. Without question, they're stacked against us. Can you make money? Absolutely, you can. But going into a business where you have a 97 or 98% chance of failure before you even get started, it makes it tough. Now, like I told you, about a year ago, started to do some research and due diligence on the mobile app market. I started to collect all kinds of data, talking to all kinds of people. And here's what I discovered. I discovered the good news. What I discovered was there's a lot of people making a lot of money, doing so as a home-based business, not having to set up elaborate companies with employees or anything else, certainly not having to set up a brick-and-mortar type operation. But a lot of people making a lot of money working from their homes as either a one-person, maybe two-person operation, doing some outsourcing. And here's what I discovered, and this was shocking to me. 41% of all app developers are making money. 41%. I want that to sink in a little bit with you, because it was kind of like a lightning bolt when it first hit me, and I said, that's got to be wrong. And I drilled down and I looked, and it's reality. 41% of all app developers are making money. But here's even the better news. What we've discovered, what we've put together, what we have built here is a way that not only can you be part of this 41%, but you could be part of the upper 10% of app developers making real big money. So this is the good news, and I want to lay this as the foundation as we move forward. Let's take a look at the market. Number of smartphones sold exceeded the number of PCs sold last year. Okay, that's significant, folks. That is significant. There were more smartphones sold last year than PCs. And you can see where the trend is going. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Tablets. I don't know if any of you have iPads or Android tablet. I have an Android tablet. Tablets alone should pass PC sales in the next 2 to 3 years. So there's going to be more tablets, there's going to be more smartphones out there than there are computers. And of course, the computing power that a normal smartphone has or a tablet has is 10 times more of the computing power than what we had as a computer 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It's amazing. But you know what? The timing is perfect. The timing is perfect. Take a look at where we're at right now, okay? And this is looking at featured phone sales, which is what I call dumb phones, versus smartphone sales. And it's not going to be in the too distant future where feature phones are going to be phased out and smartphones will really be the only thing that's out there. And when I say feature phones, for the most part, those are the ones, and I've had them before, I'm sure you have, they flip open, right? The flip open phones. Basically, they make phone calls, and that's about it. And I know some of you are sitting out there going, well, yeah, Rick, that's kind of why I wanted a cell phone, just to make phone calls. Well, I realize that. That's the way I used to think too. But now, it's all going to smartphones. Again, there are all of these featured phones out there, dumb phones out there, that are all going to be replaced over the next 5, 6, 7 years by smartphones. What does that mean? That means the app market is going to be exploding. Look at this growth chart right here. Right now, apps are a $10 billion a year market, growing at 100% per year. Now, I want you to think about this as a marketplace for a minute. $10 billion a year market. There's only a couple of really huge players in the app space right now. Zynga, Rovio, a couple of others. The rest of this money is being generated by small business people. By small business people, 1, 2, 3 person operations. And it's growing at 100% per year. It's an unbelievable marketplace right now, and it will be for the next probably 10 years. Now check this out. Even for those of you that don't have this game app on your phone, I'm sure you've heard of Angry Birds. Angry Birds alone has 600 million downloads, beating out Nintendo DS, including all their games. Absolutely amazing statistic. And again, Angry Birds hasn't been around that long. And then take a look at this, finally, the global mobile apps download across the world. Look at the growth rate just since 2009. It's going through the roof, folks, and it's only getting bigger, and it's getting bigger all over the world. Not just here in the U.S., it's getting bigger all over the world. Matter of fact, I saw a statistic the other day where there's actually more app loads outside of the U.S. than there is in the U.S., in Europe and Asia, and etc. Okay, so the global market is huge, and it is expanding at a rapid pace. Let's take a look at a little bit of the money that's being made in the app space right now, and I like to drill down on this because most of these guys have no developer background, no technical background whatsoever. Most of these guys are marketers, internet marketers, who decided to get into the app space, very much like Angela and I did. And check this out. Starting at the top here on the left, G. Wang, Jeff Smith, $1 million in their first year. Ethan Nicholas made $1 million in less than 7 months. Joel Comm, I'm sure many of you have heard of Joel Comm. He's in the internet marketing space. He's a guru. He's been around forever. Joel made $100,000 in less than 2 weeks. Costas over right next to him, $100,000 in 3 months. Wouldn't it be terrible if it took you 3 months to make that $100,000? Bart Deckram touched $100,000 in his first 3 months, and he had 20 million downloads on his apps in the first year. Steve Demeter, $250,000 in 2 months. And then finally, Brian Greenstone, $5 million in revenue in his first 15 months. Absolutely amazing amounts of money being made by individuals. These guys aren't companies. They're not companies. They're individuals in this app market, in this app space. So let's take a look at how all of this works. Before we do it, I always like to take a look at the barriers to entry in any kind of market that I'm about to get into, or any kind of market I'm talking to other people about. And there's some pretty good barriers to entry. Not significant, but there are some barriers to entry for most people in this space. The average cost to build an app is $600 to $2,000. That's number one. App development and marketing training to get yourself up to speed, to educate yourself, normally it runs around $2,000, can be even more than that actually. Marketing cost can run you $2,000 per month. Graphics for your apps, to do your icons, do your splash screen, they easily can run $1,000 and up. So you're looking at, just to get started, upwards of $7,000 or more up front, and at least $2,000 a month in operating costs. That's a significant barrier to entry for a normal home-based business person. But again, we have found a way to greatly lower these barriers of entry. I mean, dramatically lowers these barriers of entry. So just about anybody can get into this app space. And remember, Angela and I don't have a programming background. We're not programmers. We're not engineers. We're marketers. We're marketers. So if we could figure it out, if we could do it with no programming background, and matter of fact, again, let me emphasize, the guys that I just showed you earlier that were making that kind of money in a very short period of time, they're not programmers either. But we figured out a way to greatly lower this barrier of entry. What if we could show you how you could build apps for as little as $12 each? As a matter of fact, even better than that, free. Well, we're going to show you that tonight. I'm going to start out talking a little bit about the business, and I'm going to emphasize the wrong way. This is the 59% who lose money way of building this business. And I know you're looking at the screen and you're seeing this screenshot of Angry Birds, and you're saying, well, what could possibly be wrong about building Angry Birds and getting 600 million downloads and generating millions and millions and millions of dollars of revenue on one single app in a very short period of time? Well, nothing. If you're Rovio, who developed Angry Birds, but this is the mindset that the 59% of the developers who get in this business and lose money, this is the mindset that they get into. They're looking for the next Angry Birds. They come into the marketplace and spend thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars developing what they think is going to be the next big thing. And guess what? They fail. They fail because they put all their eggs in one single basket. And they don't go about it the right way. They don't do the right kind of market research. They don't do any of that. So let's take a look at the right way. But before we do that, you do have a choice, right? You could be part of the 59% who lose money, who basically run their app business or come into the app business with that mindset that we just talked about. Or you could be part of the 41% group who actually make money. It absolutely is your choice. But even the better news, we've put this program together and we're working with people who are part of the 10% of the 41%, the upper 10% of that 41% group, who are not only making money, they're making money consistently and they're making money significantly. So here's the right way. First off, there are 6 keys to success in this business, and these keys don't change. Like any good business, it's a blueprint. We'll talk about those in a minute. We discovered as we were putting all of this together, there is really a simple 3-step formula, but this formula is absolutely essential to not only making money in this business, but being able to get into it and be able to start making money in as little as 15 to 21 days. And this simple 3-step formula is going to show you how to do that. Basically, the bottom line is this. We're going to show you how to spend almost no dollars, very little dollars, not a whole lot of money to build apps, and that's key. So let's talk about the 6 keys to success. I'm going to drill down on some of these as we move forward. On some of these, I'm just going to touch on them right here. First and foremost, you have to do market research. You have to understand your market. You have to be able to look to see where the demand is, who's downloading the apps, what kind of apps are being downloaded. Once you've got that firmly in place, and you've got 6 or 7 different niche markets that you've decided on, you then could start looking at app development. But there's a right way to do app development, and especially the right way to do app development to spend very little money or no money at all initially to build your first round of apps. Once you've got some apps out there, then the next big thing that you've got to do is you got to pay attention to what's going on with them. You've got to analyze what's happening and then make any adjustments on the fly to those apps, tweak those apps so that you're getting more out of them, right? Or get rid of the ones that aren't doing anything out in the space at all. Marketing and monetization is obviously key, and there's a key element to marketing which we're going to touch on in a minute, and there's also a couple of key elements when it comes to monetization and making money with these apps. It's a very unique business, I'll tell you that. It's not unlike anything that we've ever not unlike anything that we've done before or what you've done before, but there's just a little bit different approach to it, and the marketing and monetization piece is certainly one of those. Of course, you've got to build a team around you, and again, when I say a team, I don't mean going out and hiring a bunch of people. It could be some outsourcing, it could be some networking that you're doing, and then of course there are some systems that you put into place that basically help you build all of this and do it in a very efficient and effective way. Finally, professional networking. This is another key element, building a network. It's something that we're doing, Angela and I are doing right now. We'll talk about that more here in the next few minutes as well. Let's talk a little bit about marketing versus development. This is the key differentiator for, I think, the difference between the 59%ers and the 41%ers in the app business, app development business. Let me approach it. Let me do it this way. Let me ask you a question. What makes more money? The great idea that never goes anywhere due to terrible marketing, or the okay idea that explodes due to great marketing? Well, I mean, of course, it's a redundant question. Marketing is key. Marketing is everything. You've got to have a good product, but you don't have to have a great product. But you could have a great product and terrible or no marketing, and it'll never go anywhere. And again, the difference between marketing and development in this business, you have a lot of people that get into the app business that are developers. They have no marketing sense. They don't understand marketing. And what happens? They fail. They become part of that 59% group. Here's the key to marketing apps. This is so important for you to understand. To me, it brought absolute clarity when I first saw this. Here's a picture of the iPhone App Store. And this applies to all of the app stores, by the way, whether it's Android or Apple or even Windows. The app stores are one big search engine. When anybody goes to an app store, they're not putting a name in. I mean, very rarely do they put in the name of an actual app like Angry Birds. They're putting in search terms. They're looking for types of apps. They're looking for apps to solve a problem or to entertain them or to make them more productive. So they're putting in certain search terms to do that. So then what does that really make apps, and certainly app names? It makes them keywords, right? Keywords. That's what it makes them. So it's the keywords that drive all of this. And a lot of people will go out, again, the 59%ers will name their apps I don't know, for their dog. They'll come up with some bizarre company name, and that's what their app name is as well. And they lose out. Okay, we talked about on those 6 keys. Number 1, market research. Market research is critical. And again, this is what really separates those that make money from those that don't, is market research. Going out and doing the right kind of market research. There's a number of great market research tools out in the space. This is one of them, Top App Charts. You can actually find this at topappcharts.com. And what Top App Charts is it analyzes by category and by games all of the paid and free iPhone and iPad apps, and it breaks them down. You can see, trends. You can see how many downloads they're getting. It's really kind of an exciting tool because it gives you insight into what is not only selling, but on the free side, what's being downloaded for free as well. Because you then can start looking at trends. You then can see what are some of the markets that you may want to get into. What are some of the niches that you may want to focus on? This is where you get that done. This is how you do that. This market research is absolutely key. Then, wow. Every business I get into on the marketing side of things, you always test the market first, right? It's testing. But normally what we're doing is not necessarily testing the market. We're usually coming into a market that's proven. What we're doing is we're testing ads, we're testing different approaches. Here you really are testing the market first, then expanding, and you're doing it. Remember that 3-step process I talked about? Here's where this comes in. So step 1 of this 3-step process is called quantity. You're building what are called quantity apps, and you're normally doing this for free or maybe for very little cost, but almost always you're building these for free. You're building a large number of apps to test. These are info apps. These are apps that are very simple. They have very simple functionality, but they allow you to go out and really start testing the market. Once you've got a number of these apps in the marketplace, you then can move to step 2. Step 2 is called quality. It's where you start building quality apps based on what's converting over in step 1. Does that make sense? And normally what happens in step 2 is this is where you start developing entertainment and productivity apps. Most of in these 2 categories, that's what falls into the quality app. Now, step 1 and step 2 ultimately lead to step 3. Step 3 is where you begin to build super apps. You build these apps with the earnings that you're getting from step 1 and step 2. These are going to be entertainment, productivity, and game apps. And this is, without question, this is the winning formula. This is the proven winning formula that not only the 41% are using, but the upper 10% of the 41% are using to generate consistent income in the app market and significant income. And let's start drilling down on that a little bit. Let's take a look at the winning formula step by step here. So, step 1, quantity apps. Here's exactly how it works. This is the blueprint. So with quantity apps, you're going to deploy at least 100 of these each month, and you're going to expect a minimum of 150,000 downloads across all 100, averaging $6,000 in revenue. Now, think about this for a minute. This really is a differentiator. This is a game changer right here. The majority of developers come into the market with 1 or 2 apps, period. Why? Because they're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to develop the apps. They don't have any more money to do it. But if I could show you how to develop these apps for free, all 100 of these apps for free, or worst case scenario, maybe for $12 a piece after you've got your first 50 done for free. But what if you spent $12 for each of these 100 apps? So you spent $1,200, but you were generating $6,000 in revenue. Not a bad return, right? This is the blueprint, though. This is what's working. This is reality. These numbers aren't just pulled out of the air. This is what's actually happening in the space right now for the people that are using this winning formula. So, Once you've determined what's working in step one with the quantity apps, you then move on to quality apps. You start building quality apps. There, you're deploying. This is your target. This is what you're looking to do. This is your goal. You're going to be deploying 3 each month, and your expectation is $10,000 per month per app in revenue. Okay? Not bad at that point, right? Generating $30,000 a month in revenue on your quality apps. Now, this income that you're generating on step one and step two allows you to then start building some super apps. And I'll tell you, your super apps, you aren't going to be spending obviously $12 per app on your super apps, are you? No, you aren't. You're going to be spending, you could be spending tens of thousands of dollars on a super app, but you could afford to do it because the revenue you're generating in step one and step two allows you to do it. But in the super app development phase, you're going to deploy one app every 3 months, and your expectation is $100,000 in revenue per app per month. That's when it starts getting really, really significant and obviously a lot of fun at that point. Let's drill down a little bit further on the revenue model. So you start out with free apps, right? That's that quantity app. That's that step one, free apps. But you're making money in the free app space. I really want to emphasize this right now. You can make a significant amount of money if all you ever did was build free apps. Matter of fact, Angela and I have already put a development company together called Free App Empire. And Free App Empire is just going to focus on this free app business model. And the free app business model generates income by having banner ads and affiliate ads, affiliate marketing within the free app. So you may have a free app on your phone, but you're going to have a banner ad maybe down at the bottom, or you're going to have a little pop-up every now and then, maybe on as it's loading type thing. You'd be amazed at the kind of money that's being made. Matter of fact, I know two individuals, young guys down here in San Diego. These two guys have been around for a couple of 2-3 years, developing nothing but free apps. And they haven't done very many. I think they have a total now of maybe 28 or 29 free apps, F-R-E-E apps, free apps. And the only way that they're generating income is off ads and affiliate marketing. Okay? And you know what kind of money they're making on their 29 apps, just 29 that they have? They're generating close to $80,000 per month. $80,000 per month on their free apps. It's an amazing, amazing model. And this is where you get started, is in the free app market. But again, like I said, you may never get to paid apps. You may get to that point where you go, I like this free app model. I like being able to basically just have people download for free, and then I make my money off of ads, right? Paid apps, of course, is what everybody thinks about. The paid app range, for the most part, is 99 cents to, say, $2.99. And again, paid apps, tremendously successful market space. Lots of money to be made in paid ads, right? And a lot of times, your free ad becomes a paid ad, or your free app becomes a paid app. Right? You develop this free app, you see that it's gaining traction, then you decide to add some features to that free app that you then can charge 99 cents for, or $1.99 or $2.99 for, and you get people downloading it, especially the people that have already, let's say you've got 15, 20,000, 30,000 people that have downloaded your free app. Well, very possible then when you upgrade, you're going to have maybe 4,000 or 5,000 of those people will actually pay the 99 cents to upgrade. But think about that. If you got 5,000 people upgrading on your free app, you've just made $5,000. Not too bad. Then the next phase of the revenue model is a combination of both free and paid. It's called freemium apps. This is the revenue model. But you know what my favorite part of this revenue model is? And for those of you that have dabbled in or been in, not even dabbled, but maybe have had a little bit of success in the network marketing world over the years, you'll understand this. The best part of this app business is residual income. Residual income. You could develop an app. You could put an app out there that maybe initially you're making a couple of $1,000s a month on, okay? And you never upgrade it past that point. You never do anything new with it. No new versions. 3 years later, you could still be getting people downloading it in the app stores, and you're making $200-300 a month without ever doing anything more with it. Residual income in this business is significant. It's not just, oh my gosh, I got to come up with a new app now because I sold my other app and that's it. It doesn't work that way. New people come into the marketplace every day and they're looking for your apps. They're downloading your apps every single day. So you're building that residual income. It's a fantastic piece to this revenue model. To me, it's a highlight. And again, just visually, here's how it works, right? So you start up here with your free apps, right? Your free apps promote paid apps. It could be your paid apps or it could be other people's paid apps. Your paid apps are promoting other paid apps, either yours or other people's, which are promoting other paid apps, which could be promoting free apps. It's a beautiful, beautiful business model. Here's the one thing I want to emphasize about this. Right down here at the bottom, free apps equals traffic. Free apps equals significant traffic. You could literally be getting, easily hundreds of downloads a day, if not thousands of downloads a day, realistically. Not pie in the sky, not, 1% of everybody that gets in the app space does that. No, there's significant numbers of people that are getting thousands of downloads on their free apps every single day. That generates a significant amount of traffic that basically you have those eyeballs on that app and anything that's happening in that app in the way of monetization. Here's the other piece to this. We aren't going to really spend a lot of time talking about this tonight. We do in our training, and that's building an email database from this. And let me use the two guys that I talked about that have that free app company down in San Diego. And when I say company, I use that term loosely. It's two guys working from home, okay, making $1 million a year apiece, okay? Here's what they did. They decided, by the way, these two guys are engineers. They had no clue in the beginning about marketing. Since then, they've gotten a clue. But anyway, in their app, they decided to have a screen, and this was kind of part of the initial loading screen, splash screen. There was going to be a screen that came up that said, if you want more of our free apps, and to get on our mailing list, give us your name and your email address, right? It was just a little opt-in form. That's all it was. Opt-in form that was part of their app, right? Simple to do, by the way. And they put it in, and almost overnight, they started getting inundated with email, with opt-ins. Inundated. Matter of fact, they have a email database account that they had to keep upgrading. They said, we got it to like $600 a month on it. And I said, well, how many opt-ins were you getting? And they said, well, in our first month, we got 83,000 opt-ins. 83,000 opt-ins. And I said, wow. I said, were they single opt-ins or double? And they said, no, double opt-ins. Let me tell you something, folks. For those of you that don't know, the best internet marketers on the planet don't get 83,000 opt-ins a month. Not even close. The best internet marketers on the planet don't get those kind of numbers. So, free apps equal traffic? Yes, free apps can equal unbelievable amounts of traffic. So this is how it works in the app itself to promote other opportunities, to promote other apps for people to upgrade people within your app. There's three screens. One is push notification, one is called a nag screen, another is a more screen. This is all built in, and it's part of when you initially build your apps, okay? Push notification is terrific. That could pop up at any time. And here's the great thing about push notifications. Push notifications have a 97% click-through rate. 97%. Absolutely amazing. Nag screens usually are part of a free app. It's usually you use a nag screen when you want to upgrade somebody to a paid app. to your paid app. So it would pop up and say, hey, we've added a bunch of new features. You can get all these new features, great new features for only 99 cents. Click here. And then finally, the more screens. The more screens is where you sell other people's apps, or if you have other apps of your own that are paid, this is where you would put them. It's called a more screen. They work very, very, very well. Listen, the last frontier of online advertising is cell phones and tablets. The last frontier, and this business takes full advantage of that, especially on the free app side. But this is a great way to illustrate how that money's being generated within the app space. This network piece, and again, that was part of the key elements to building a successful app business. This piece is probably one of the most significant. Let's say you've done your market research, you've got some apps out there, but you need a network. You need a network. We're building a very large network at this point. We're in the process of building a network, and there's two elements to this network. One, here's a new word for you. Okay, here's a new word for you, appreneurs. Appreneurs are app entrepreneurs, so appreneurs, right? We're building a network of other appreneurs so that we can cross-promote one another's apps. Does that make sense? Cross-promote one another's non-competing apps. It's a beautiful thing. You build a network, and they sell your apps, you sell their apps. It creates a tremendous amount of success and synergy that way. The second part of a successful app network are app companies. These are actual companies. These are companies that actually buy your apps. And when I say buy your apps, they'll buy your apps, not 99 cents. They're not downloading your apps for 99 cents on the paid side. They're going to buy outright the rights to your app so they own it and they can market it themselves. And they're buying apps for thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars they're buying apps for. Okay? Amazing opportunity there. We've already got a couple of companies that we're working with on board that are saying, hey, if you and your network are building apps and seeing some success with those apps, meaning some downloads, not even dollars being generated, but just downloads, we will consider buying your apps. So here's what we're doing. We're creating a huge app business, and we want to do it with you. We want to create a huge app business with you. Now, you can build your own app network, and we would encourage you to do so, and part of our training is teaching you how to do that. But listen, if we're out there making these connections, we were already building this network. Isn't it easier initially for you to be part of our network and what we've built than to go out and build your own? Sure it is. And we could create a huge app business together this way. Okay, let me break it down for you. Let me pull all of this into focus. Here's really the app success secrets. Number one, research. Your initial market research, initial niche research, finding out what's working out there, and then using that information to start building your own apps. Following that three-step formula, right? Step one, quantity apps. Step two, quality apps. Step three, super apps. So following that three-step formula, following it religiously, and then repeating it, right? So that's the other success secret. And then building that, or being part of, taking advantage of an app network. This network of appreneurs, this network of companies that's going to help you sell your apps, help you to distribute your apps, and generate even more revenue. With that, you can create a huge, profitable app business where you're easily doing 5 figures a month, 5-figure app business a month. That's what we're looking at here. Here's the really exciting piece to what we're doing here and why I feel so great about this business and what we're going to be doing. And I want you to understand that as we started to do our due diligence, I started to look at the business, I came across two people that I felt I resonated with and I began to learn from and begin to network with. The first, Chad Morita. You may know Chad's book, App Empire. It's a bestseller on Amazon. Chad also built a training program called App Empire, which is no longer around. He sold it out, closed it out. But Chad is an amazing success story in the app space. The other individual that I consider to be a mentor, working very closely with, Amish Shaw. Amish built a business, app business. Oh, he's only been in the business now for maybe 18 months. He sold his company before it was even a year old. He sold his company for almost $2 million. And when I say he sold his company, it's basically him. It was basically him building apps. He, of course, outsourced a lot of his business to app developers ultimately, but these two guys have come up with the blueprints that we're using for our business. They come up with the formulas that we're using for our business. They're the guiding force here behind what we're doing. And that's significant because what we're doing is we're taking their proven success and we're building our business based on those blueprints. So let's take a look specifically at our program, Social App Income. It starts out with our 6-week training program. And our 6-week program is a step-by-step, hands-on program that's designed to take you, knowing nothing about the app business, so take you from zero knowledge to hero in 6 weeks' time. So let's take a look at this. Week by week. Week 1. Well, here's where that market research comes in, doesn't it? We're going to teach you how to pick the right categories for your apps. We're going to give you market research strategies to help you target the right audience. Absolutely key piece here. We're going to show you how to set up your app marketplaces the right way. And again, there's 3 major app marketplaces. There's the Apple marketplace, there is the Android marketplace, and Windows. How to choose the right app name. Remember, it's all keyword centric. This is a critical piece, choosing the right app name. We'll talk about that. And then finally in week 1, SEO strategies so your app gets maximum visibility in the app store. So that wraps up week 1. We go into week 2. We're really focusing on a couple of things here in week 2. First off, the ins and outs of graphics and design elements. How to design basic graphics for your apps. Think about this. There's 2 things that people see when they're searching for apps. Once they put their search term in, comes up with a list of apps that's showing in the App Store. 2 things you see. You see a graphic icon and you see a description. So the graphics and the copywriting strategy for your app are critical. Now, let me give you the good news. You don't have to be a graphic artist to succeed at this business. Lord knows I'm not. We're going to show you some ways that you can design these little design elements. There's 2 or 3 little design elements. We're going to show you how to do that. You don't need to be a graphic designer. Don't worry about that. And we're not even talking about outsourcing at this point. Okay? The same with copywriting. We're going to teach you some very simple copywriting strategies for your apps. It'll make it very easy to kind of write that descriptive copy that ultimately gets somebody to download your app. We're going to show you how to build your own apps for free. Wait till you see the tool that we have for you to be able to do this. It's absolutely amazing. I've been working with it now for the past couple of weeks. This week alone, I've built 6 apps. I have built 6 apps on top of everything else that I'm doing. I built 6 apps. Didn't cost me a dime. Of course, monetization strategies comes in here in week 2. We're going to show you some key monetization strategies to get the most out of your free apps initially. And then finally, how to test your apps and get them ready to submit into the marketplaces. That takes care of week 2. So we've kind of worked up to getting your apps to the marketplace. So what do you think we're going to start in week 3? Yeah. Week 3 is how to submit your app to the 3 stores to get accepted. And then we're going to teach you how to really understand the approval process and how to get accepted 99% of the time. And then, of course, what do you do after your apps have been accepted? Now, 1% of the time, you may have your app not approved. So we're going to show you what to do if your app is not approved. And then finally, how to leverage this entire approval process to your advantage. That's what we focus on week 3. So then we move on to week 4. Week 4 is really where we start to analyze, because by now in week 3, you've got apps out in the marketplace. Now we're going to start to teach you how to analyze your stats and your data to find out what's working, right? So you can see what you need to tweak to maximize your app's potential. We're going to get into some advanced monetization techniques so that you can get even more out of each one of your apps revenue-wise. I'm going to show you how to take full advantage of our app network that we're building to explode your income. This is a really fun piece, and this is really going to be a cool way for you to make a lot of extra leveraged income. Week 4, too, is where we start getting into some advanced marketing techniques. Up to this point, we're going to be showing you ways to market your apps, and you're not going to spend one single dime to do that. With these advanced marketing techniques, these are going to be some paid techniques that you can start using at this point if you want to. You don't have to at this point, but we're going to teach it to you so you have that as part of your marketing bag of tricks. We get into week 5. Here we're going to teach you, one of the first things we're going to teach you is how to motivate and reward your customers. These are the people that have already downloaded your apps. We're going to show you how to motivate and reward them so they download even more of your apps. There's a really cool upgrade strategy that we're going to show you in week 5. This is going to add even more income to what you're already doing. We're going to show you how to piggyback off of other apps, not only other apps that you have, but that your competitors have. This is a neat little trick that we're going to show you here. This week 5 is where we start showing you and talking about that email list building technique I talked about earlier. This is really, really cool right here, and especially for those of you that have been in the internet marketing world, you know how important list building is. This is where this comes into play. And then finally in week 5, we're going to start showing you how to build quality apps in week 5. Up to this point, you've really been working with and building quantity apps. Here we're going to start to show you how to build quality apps in week 5. Finally, we get to week 6. This one thing right here that's on the screen right now, this really could be its own standalone piece and course. Matter of fact, we're probably going to focus a piece of our business on this. We're going to show you how to leverage what you've learned up to this point in the local business market. There's a lot of you out there that are already in the local business market. You could be social media managers, you could be doing SEO stuff, you could be building sites, blogs, whatever. There is a tremendous opportunity with the local business market to build apps. I've already started to do it just kind of as an experiment, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. This is an incredible opportunity. We're going to start really drilling down on this in week 6. Even though we have our own network and we want you to participate in our app network, we're going to show you how to create and grow your own network of appreneurs here in week 6, just so you have that opportunity, just so you have that option as well. We're going to get into some advanced SEO tricks so that you get even more downloads for your apps. And then finally here with week 6, how to sell your apps through our network or on your own. And again, when I say sell your apps, I mean sell your apps outright for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. The final piece here, how to outsource your entire business or pieces of your business. We're going to show you exactly how to do that, which pieces that you could outsource. So in essence, you could have your entire business outsourced and really be able to explode your business that way as well. We've built in some additional resources, something we call the Resource Vault. Here you're going to find market research tools, really, really cool niche finder that we've got for you. Our app development software is amazing. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. And then finally, we've got a number of marketing tools and resources here as well in this Resource Vault. Everything you need to have to build a successful app business, all the tools. This is kind of the tools section. All the tools you need to build a very successful app business. Here's our free app builder, and again, this is just a screenshot, but I wanted to show this to you for 2 different reasons. This is a very, very simple building tool to use. This is part of our resources section of our program. We're going to teach you how to use this. Obviously, this comes in week 2. We're going to show you and teach you how to use this. This is what I've been using to build all the apps that I built up to this point. This is an app. I wanted to show you this app right here. This is an app. The Writers Club Cafe is a local restaurant here in town where I live in San Clemente. It's a great place, by the way. This took me probably 25 minutes to build. Okay, I pulled information in from their website. I pulled their Facebook page in from here. I pulled their Yelp reviews in. There's a map of their location. There's photos of their location, of their food as well. I built this app in 25 minutes using our free tool. Okay, I launched it. So now I have the opportunity to do one of two things. I'm going to plant this seed. We're going to teach you more about this. I can either give this away to the Writers Club, and I can have advertising running on it, so I'm making money on it. They distribute it to all their customers for free. They're going to give this app away to all their customers, or I could just sell it to them outright for at least a few $100s. At least. 20 minutes worth of work, didn't cost me a dime to build it, and I could easily sell it for $300, $400, $500. Easily sell it to them for $300 or $400 or $500. Not bad for 20 minutes worth of work, is it? Or I can hold on to it, give it to them to distribute for free, and make all the money that's generated off the ads that are running on the app as people use the app for the Writers Club. Our free app builder, you're going to be super excited with it. Okay. Let me ask you some key questions here. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop losing money in unsuccessful internet and MLM business models? Are you ready to start a long-term, sustainable business? Are you ready to use our training to start making money in as little as 21 days? Actually, probably as little as 15 days. And are you ready to participate in our rapidly growing app network? Are you ready? It's your choice. Remember the numbers we started with earlier, started with at the very beginning of the webinar? It's your choice. You could pick one. You could be part of the 3% group, the 3% of the people who actually make money in network marketing. You could be part of the 2% group, the 2% of the people that make money in internet marketing. Or you could be in a business model where 41% of the people in this business model are making money. It's your choice. Your choice. So what's all of this worth? Everything we've put together worth. I'm going to show you, start out by showing you what Chad put together. Remember, Chad is one of our mentors. Chad wrote the best-selling book App Empire, and he created a training system off of it. Chad was charging almost $2,000 for his program, and he sold it out. I mean, he sold it out. Okay? Sold it out. And Chad didn't even have a network. He didn't have a network. He basically just had all this fantastic training, all of these pieces. He was charging $2,000 for. Well, let's talk about what you get with our program, and let's see if we could put some kind of valuation on it. First off, you get 6 weeks hands-on training, which I walked you through week by week earlier. That's at least a $1,500 value. Our resource vault, and I'll tell you something, this is grossly underestimated by me, $1,000 value on all the market research tools you're going to get, the niche finder that you get, the app development software itself probably is worth $1,000, all of the marketing tools and resources. And then finally, our app network. I put $1,000 value on this. The reality, folks, the app network is priceless. Total value on all of this, again, being ultra conservative, $3,500 value. Obviously, I'm not going to charge you $3,500 for this. I could. The value is, no question, the value is there, especially when I can show you how to recoup that $3,500 probably in your first 2 months, 3 months in your app business. Here's what we decided to do. First off, we started out saying we were only going to accept 25 people when we opened this up. We realized very quickly, wait a minute. There's way too many people who want into this thing. Okay, let's we could bump it up to 50. And the reason I said it this isn't a marketing trick. This is we don't have the resources to handle more than 50 people right now. At some point, At some point, we'll bring some more people on. We'll have some more resources. We'll probably expand this out to maybe 250. But for right now, for the foreseeable future, it's 50. And guess what, folks? We only have 11 spots left. We have 11 spots left. So the question is, are you going to be one of the elite 50 to be part of our network, part of our group? So here's what we decided to do. We decided to put a value, we know what the value is, $3,500. We decided to just do a one-time payment of $497. $497 for all of this, everything that we're talking about. We knew that even that was going to be difficult for a lot of people, so we decided to create a two-payment plan over the course of 2 months of $277. That makes it a little bit easier. But I said, listen, for this initial group, Angela, let's do something really special. Let's take $100 off. $100 off what our normal price would be. So what we did was we created a webinar special, a single payment of $397. One single payment of $397. That's it. That's what you get. Okay? You get all of it for $397. So here's the deal. There is what I like to call a window of opportunity here. There's a window of opportunity. It probably used to be a door. It was probably a door that was wide open a couple of years ago with this opportunity. That door is closed. There's still a window open. There's a window of opportunity. I don't know how long that window is going to be open for. Certainly it's still wide open right now. You still have an opportunity to cash in on this amazing business model. You can do that with our training, with our network. I'd love to see you take advantage of this opportunity. I'd love for you to participate in it. And I look forward to you being part of it. So, make the decision. This isn't for everybody, but I'm telling you right now, it is one of the greatest opportunities that I've seen in my 15 years of online marketing. No question about it. This is like being in on the early days of the internet, for sure. Like being in on the early days of the internet. It's exactly what this business is all about right now. Take advantage of it. Do yourself a favor. Make that commitment. Get into that window of opportunity right now, and we'll see you on the inside.